Hey guys, welcome to this new paragraph. I forgot to write it down. It's paragraph 3.3, and 3.3 is about multiplying, so times with square roots. And I forgot to grab my calculator as well. You could use one as well. And what we're going to do, we're going to, multiply or times. Just to remind you, with add or subtract, you need to add or subtract like terms, and that's if there's a plus in between. Now there's a times in between, a cross in between. And what can we see, and what is that, the rule? Well, if you multiply two square roots, you first multiply the numbers under the square sign. This becomes the number under the square sign, and then you multiply the numbers in front of the square sign. This comes in front of the square sign. So, if we have 2 square root of 3 times 4 square root of 5, then we multiply its times, and then we have the 3 and the 5, we multiply them, that's 15, so we get square root of 15, and then we add the 2 and the 4 in front of the square root, so that's 8, so we have 8 square root 15. You could also write it slightly different. That's what the book uses. What they do, they simply say, okay, this is equal to 2 multiplied by 4 multiplied by square root of 3 multiplied by 5. And you get the same. 2 multiplied by 4 is 8. 3 multiplied by 15 is 15. So this is in front of the square root sign, and this is under the square root sign, under the nothing. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to show you a couple of examples how to do it. First 18 and then 20, just a few. So with 18, first of all, what do we have? Square root of 5 multiplied by square root of 6. So we don't need to keep in mind the number in front of the square root sign because they're not there. So just square root, and then it's 5 multiplied by 6, and it is the square root of 30. This step in between, you don't need to do it, but it is what happens. Okay, 3 multiplied by the square root of 3 multiplied by the square root of 26. Okay, then we're going to multiply 3 square roots, nothing in front of the square roots. We're going to start with a square root. 3 multiplied by 6 is 1878. Okay, and then with t, okay, and if you don't know this by heart, 3 multiplied by 26, just use your calculator. With g, we have 3 times, so it's simply one big square root of 10 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 2, and 10 multiplied by 5 is 50, multiplied by 2 is 100, so we have the square root of 100. And we know what that is 10. So you need to know your perfect squares. And then 13 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2, and then the square root, so square root of 30 multiplied by the square root of 3 multiplied by the square root of 2. And that is just going to grab my calculator. 13 times 2, 33 is 78. So this is the square root of 78. Okay, and now with 20 we're going to put numbers in front of the square root sign. So what do we have over here? We have 2 multiplied by 3. That was in front of the square root sign, and then we have the square root sign, and then we have 5 multiplied by 11. And that is equal to, well, 2 multiplied by 3 is 6. And the square root of 5 multiplied by 11 is 55. So basically, it's a square root of 6 square root of 55. You don't need to show the step in between, but it might be handy if you kind of lost what to do. And then we do the last one, last example. Minus 2 times 8 is minus 16. And then we have the square root. It's 27 times 3. And I need a calculator for that. 27 times 3 is 81. Oh, I know 81. 81 is the square root of 81 is 9. So we have minus 16 times 9. And that is something we need a calculator for if I'm lazy. And that is minus 144. Okay. Yeah, we're going to practice this more in class. Till then, see you on Wednesday. Take care.